Good afternoon. It's Monday afternoon, December 30th. We have an upcoming winter storm which is expected to impact the United States, the central portions of the United States this upcoming weekend, really early next week. I just wanted to share with you some of the words that some of our National Weather Service forecast offices are saying regarding this storm. You'll have a clearer picture of what actually is being forecasted. And we're going to start off with the Chicago National Weather Service. This was written this morning, December 30th. This is Monday morning. Another upper level disturbance that may be of greater interest for our forecast, this is for Chicago for Sunday into Monday, is currently located even farther to the west of the Pacific upper low that was discussed in the previous paragraph. This low pressure system is near the Kuril Islands of Russia. So the low pressure system for Sunday and Monday is located even further to the west of that Pacific upper low. The low pressure system for Sunday and Monday is located currently in the Kuril Islands of Russia. This disturbance is projected to interact with the Pacific low over the next few days before ejecting eastward into barreling into the United States, the continental United States this weekend. As can be expected for a system that's 6 to 7 days out and several thousand miles away. The envelope of solutions depicted in ensemble guidance for how this disturbance will evolve over the next several days as it tracks towards and eventually through the continental U.S. is quite vast. And the extent to which it may affect our area remains highly uncertain at this time, with a myriad of possible outcomes still on the table at this time range. That being said, deterministic global models and a large amount of the EPS, GEFS, CMCE ensemble members, while still unsurprisingly varying in their exact output from run to run, they've remained steadfast over the past few days in depicting the general idea of a low-pressure system developing over the central continental United States in response to this approaching disturbance. If this were indeed to come to fruition, then winter weather impacts would likely be seen somewhere in the general region. So ensemble trends will certainly be something to keep a close eye on in the coming days. This will determine whether we'll ultimately see any impacts from this potential system here locally. And that was written by meteorologist Ogorek, O-G-O-R-E-K, from the Chicago National Weather Service forecast office. But here's something from the St. Louis National Weather Service forecast office that might even explain things a little bit better. There is a signal for a more substantial upper-level trough to propagate across the central continental U.S. around next Sunday. However, as expected, there is a considerable amount of uncertainty at this point. Much of this uncertainty stems from how this trough interacts with a northern stream trough, impacting its track. It will also impact the timing and the structure. That's the source for the uncertainty. The source for the uncertainty is because it's unknown how this trough will interact with a northern stream trough. Although around 90% of ensemble model guidance have precipitation across much of the St. Louis, Missouri County warning area during that time, the aforementioned factors will govern precipitation amounts and types, with cold air still present and available to the resulting system. The forecast uncertainty is captured well by the NBM interquartile temperature range spanning 15 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Ranging from temperatures supportive of freezing and frozen precipitation to temperatures warm enough for rain in much of the county warning area. For context, the relevant upper-level features are still currently over the western Pacific Ocean, so we are likely a long way from determining details of this potential system, and that was written by meteorologist Thaler, P-F-A-H-L-E-R, from the St. Louis, Missouri National Weather Service forecast office. Now, here yet again, one more perspective which explains additional variables regarding this. This comes from the Lincoln, Illinois National Weather Service office. Storm system well off the west coast to develop a surface low over northwest Texas Panhandle Saturday night and moving over Arkansas by sunset Sunday and lift into the lower Ohio River Valley by sunrise Monday. GFS and European Computer medium-range weather forecast models show a decent amount of QPF moving over central and southeast Illinois late Saturday night into Sunday night, while the GEM model is drier over Illinois with its low-pressure track slower and much further south near the Gulf Coast. We'll need to monitor this winter weather system since if precipitation occurs for southern Illinois, it would likely fall as snow in central Illinois and possible wintry mix in southeast Illinois. Forecast confidence higher with the bitter cold air arriving after this storm system going into the following work week, January 6th through the 10th and beyond. The coldest air of the season looks likely during the second week of January. We'll just end off with the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day outlook for January 6th through the 12th has a 75 to 85% chance of below normal temperatures over central and southeast Illinois, with much of the central and eastern U.S. east of the Rockies favoring below normal temperatures. Precipitation has a slight trend toward below normal amounts of 33 to 40%. Okay, now one more. We already read 3, the Lincoln, the St. Louis, the Chicago National Weather Service offices. Regarding the Sunday to Monday system, we're going to do one more from Kansas City, Missouri National Weather Service. Much stronger system is expected across the region next weekend as strong area of low pressure develops across the central U.S. LREF probabilities are already in the likely category, 50 to 70% for measurable snowfall accumulation, and suggest a 30% chance of greater than 3-inch accumulations. This looks to be the heaviest snowfall of what has been a quiet winter season so far. That's from the Kansas City National Weather Service. And we have, I'm just going to also read something from the southern, this is from Kentucky. This is from Kentucky. I believe Paducah, Kentucky. And this was written last night, so this might need to be updated, but it speaks about the Arctic Oscillation Index. So we're just going to take a look at this. Looking ahead to next weekend, a true winter pattern with a more prolonged cold air mass begins to take shape as the synoptic flow turns more amplified with a series of shortwave troughs. Both the GFS and the European Computer Model show the potential for a low-pressure system to develop along a barocyclic gradient in the Saturday night to Sunday night period, with high pressure located north near Manitoba, Canada. Although forecast confidence is low with sparse details a week out, this system has the potential to bring either snow or a wintry mix to portions of the Kentucky area. However, any slight shift north in the track will make a big difference for them, as it would not take much warm air advection for precipitation to be primarily rain. With that being said, there is increasing concern for a dangerous Arctic freeze during the middle to latter half of next week that would support the first cold weather headlines of this winter season. This is, of course, for the south central states. The signal on the teleconnections has been quite strong, as a negative AAO, which really means Antarctic Oscillation Index, in particular, usually favors an exceptionally cold air mass over the central continental United States. If the GFS and European Computer Model are correct, multiple days of temperatures only in the teens and single digits for them, for Kentucky, would be possible, with apparent temperatures falling below 0 degrees. To put things in perspective, these temperatures would be 30 degrees below normal. That's for the southern state of Kentucky. So we have interesting, see if there's anything else that's worth reading. I'll just tell you something from last night. The Minneapolis, Minnesota National Weather Service. Next weekend, there's still high confidence in a system of northeast Pacific origin heading across the central continental U.S. However, there's still a good deal of spread with how far north or south this tracks. The deterministic models and AIFS have definitely trended south with this system, keeping the MPX area cold and dry. The EPS still leans the southern dry direction. This is from Minnesota. There's still about 20 to 50 members that bring meaningful snowfall accumulations up to southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. So he says don't throw in the towel yet on seeing snow next weekend. And still the case, whether or not we get snow next weekend will go a long way into determining just how cold we can get after next weekend. That's from the Minneapolis, Minnesota National Weather Service. Let's just read another one from the Quad Cities National Weather Service, Quad Cities, Iowa. This weekend into next week, confidence is increasing of a stronger system moving over the Colorado Rockies and into the Central Plains Saturday and Sunday. Impacts from accumulating snow and gusty winds are likely somewhere across the Midwest. While there is considerable uncertainty on ensemble and deterministic low tracks this far out, it does appear that our area will be on the cold side of the system. Thus, snow will be the main precipitation type. The surface low also will be strengthening as it passes into the Ohio River Valley, which may bring gusty north winds on the backside. Beyond this, very cold Arctic air will drop south into the Midwest with high confidence of below normal temperatures, the Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day, and 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Sub-zero lows will be possible. Winter weather fans rejoice. That's what he writes. And just to make a comment on this, it says, again, the surface low also will be strengthening as it passes into the Ohio River Valley, which may bring gusty north winds on the backside. I'll just point out that the models this morning do show the system strengthening as it passes into the Ohio River Valley, but then it shows the system weakening right after that. So, and then the system reorganizes on the East Coast. It's worth to mention that currently there in New York City for the latter part, let's say the end part of this storm, maybe Monday into Tuesday, we could very well be seeing some heavy snow on the East Coast, and this might include some of the major population areas. This could include Philadelphia, New York. It's something to look at. The New York City National Weather Service is not discussing this yet. But this could end up bringing a large area, a foot of snow or more, to a very large part of our country. And stay tuned for further details. We pointed out last night that yesterday morning there was consistency between the GFS and European computer model for Chicago, bringing a major snowfall. That consistency went away. Then there was consistency for the Missouri area between the GFS and European computer model, bringing a major snowfall last night. That consistency went away, but we're back to consistency for the Chicago area, bringing a significant snow. Both models show that. So somewhere in the Missouri, Illinois area, either Missouri or Illinois, I think what has been clear is that the state of Missouri or Illinois or both, possibly Iowa, will likely be getting hit with a substantial snow the beginning of next week. But the words that we read from the National Weather Service are probably most important. We read so many different forecast offices. It was either 4, 5, or 6 different offices. So this provides a lot of education regarding next week's system. So stay tuned. I wish everybody a wonderful day. Have a wonderful holiday. Freilich Chanukah. And stay safe and enjoy whatever snow we get. Realize Texas has something really big happening for next week, the latter part of next week, which as we get closer to that date, we'll speak about more of the details. Bli neder. I also hope to speak about them later on today.